Thank you very much. My name is Mike Rabbit, and on behalf of the Windsor Shad Derby Committee and the Windsor Shad Fest Bureau, I'd like to welcome you all here this evening. The first order of business, the most important, is to introduce our Shad Derby Queen candidates. Would the Shad Derby Queen candidates for 2008 please come in? The Shad Derby has been around for many, many years. 1953 we started out. We have a lot of traditions. So tonight you're going to get an opportunity to see some of them. One of them that started in 1970 by a fellow by the name of Roger Olson, who worked at then Combustion Engineering, which has gone through about 55 name changes, decided that he should honor the people that work as volunteers for the Shad Derby. And he came up and designed a pin, a Shad Derby pin. This pin is given to each one of the chair people of all the events, and a smaller pin is given to all the volunteers that work on the committee. We've been fortunate enough for every year that we've had these, that someone has ponied up and paid for them. This year we're a little concerned because last year's sponsor, Ohio Casualty, was bought by another insurance company. They were bought by Peerless Insurance Company out of Weathersfield. But we're able to talk Peerless into keeping the tradition up, and they have underwritten the cost of these pins. They're all numbered on the back, and I'd like to present the first three to the co-chairs for this year's Shad Derby, which are Bob Ganji, I'm very happy that Hy is involved because, number one, he's married to my daughter, and number two, he just produced our second grandchild.
Good evening. Thank you very much. In case some of you don't know who I am, I'm the fellow that about 26 years ago was marching in the parade as chairman when perhaps most of you were on the sidewalk holding your mom's hand waving. But I'm back again to try it one more time. This is my third time as chairman, so if we don't make it this time, I'm definitely going to strike out. So. But we're going to start with a little of the tradition of passing the hats, Michael.
Yes.
All right.
We have last year's co-chair, Marty Collier. Please come up.
I bequeath to you. Pass the hat. I'm not sure that there's been three co-chairs before, but I do know that some predecessors came up with, when there became co-chairs, then there became the cane to go with the hat.
It's fitting.
So congratulations, and on behalf of the community, thank you very much.
All right, well, one of the things that we want to do this year to change a little bit is, if you look at the sorry state of affairs of the old Derby, although inside it's been signed by all the chairmen, we want to do a little something different. So we have a new Derby. Complete with silk lining and a leather brim that we can all start to sign. So I know we do here, Michael. We just kind of rub the two together for a minute. And we all know Michael also was involved in 15 other things in Windsor, but one of them is with the Historical Society. So So we'd like to present to you the hat on our behalf for the Historical Society. All right, Mike? This old antique box, Mike. You know what I mean? It's very fitted, isn't it?
It is perfect.
All right. Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome the parents of these fine young ladies, the dignitaries, members of the various civic organizations, and all those that help make the Shad Derby the wonderful event that it is. Thank you very much. We have a few past Shad Derby chairmen here tonight that I also would like to recognize. Diana and Bill Schoner. You could stand in for a minute. Tony Weisberg. A couple of throwbacks from the 70s. Vinny Scully? Vinny, yes, you here, Vin?
Didn't make it.
Vinny didn't make it, okay. Michael Rabbit. 8 years.
I didn't get it right at all.
Obviously, he liked all the work. Don Trinks. 6 years. But there was a reason behind that, because everybody told him if he did a good job, it would be a good grooming to become mayor. So, thanks a lot. I'd also like to recognize John Leland, who is president of the Shad Fest Bureau. John was here. All right, maybe get a better offer, okay. Dignitaries, too, I'd like to mention. Obviously, the mayor, Don Trinks. Councilman Ron Elveld. Special thanks to Peter Sousa and the town of Windsor for letting us use this facility tonight. Now, before we begin, all of these events have to be underwritten with some funding. So we're going to give you a little bit of plug. There's a table over here on the right, manned by Lou Rabbit right now. And you can do 2 things at that table. One, you can pick 3 things. You can procure the ball tickets, okay? You can also see Mike or Lou about taking out an ad. So we have the sponsorship ad for the program, for the ball program. Forms are there. And also, you can also pick up the Shad Derby houses. Okay. Now the newest addition to the Shad Derby houses is the Elm Grove Cemetery Chapel. That's the newest addition. So if you're big on having a cemetery chapel in your house, see Lou. Who knows, the way that things are going, especially in the real estate market, I think next year we may be offering statues of St. Joseph that you can bury in the ground. So, whatever it takes to raise some funds. But seriously, the local businesses play such a huge part in the support of the Shad Derby and help us to carry on a tradition. And without these corporate sponsorships for the various functions, the Derby wouldn't happen. I'd like to thank most of all tonight Windsor Federal Savings for their sponsorship of tonight's event, and also for their sponsorship of some of the various events during the Derby. Windsor Federal has been just a great supporter of the Derby. As Mike mentioned, the Shad Derby pins are not only a tradition, but they're also a collector's item. And this year they were generously donated by the Peerless Insurance Company. Mike didn't tell you, thanks to his gentle coercing. So, if you wonder why your homeowner's policy now reads Peerless instead of Ohio Casualty, you know why. Special thanks also tonight to Wayne Dombrowski for his photographic skills, Zacco's Restaurant for the nice buffet they prepared for us tonight, for Win TV for covering the event, and for anyone else that's helped and pitched in tonight. Now, before we get into hearing from these young ladies, and we won't keep you much longer because I know you want to get up and speak, we'd like to also introduce tonight the judges. Okay, so let me start off first of all with our 3 judges that are seated over here, and we'll start with the judges' chair, Sharon Rabbit Holman. Sharon. Shannon. judges, Valerie Bolden Barrett. Valerie was born in Hartford, raised in Bloomfield, and graduated with honors from Bloomfield High School. She earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Temple University and began her career as a graphic designer, and subsequently became a writer, journalist, and specialist in public and media relations. She earned national recognition as the senior editor of 3 national publications, and in 2002 was selected as one of only 20 editors to participate in an international journalist roundtable. She's worked on public affairs programs for WVIT Channel 30, for WFSB Channel 3. She has served on the boards of the Southside Institutions Neighborhood Alliance, Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Foundation, and the Huntington House Museum. She currently operates a freelance writing service in Bloomfield. Valerie, thank you. Our next judge is Abdul Musa. Abdul is owner and operator of Grow Your Biz, an online marketing firm offering a wide range of web, print, and online marketing services located in West Springfield, Massachusetts. He is not only running his own business, but he also spends time volunteering for the Greater Hartford JCs, local soup kitchens, junior achievement, and various civic and community organizations. Mr. Musa also enjoys golf, reading, walking, meditation, yoga, cooking, and traveling. He currently resides in West Springfield. Abdul, thank you. Last judge is Kathleen Fries. After graduating, Kathleen is back again also with us this year, as is Valerie. After graduating from Central Connecticut State University, Kathy became a 6th grade elementary school teacher. Somehow, 25 years ago, she got into the insurance industry and fell in love with it. Kathy currently works as a sales executive for Travelers Property and Casualty. Her territory is Hartford County. She works with independent agents and gets to meet very interesting people every day. She resides in Old Saybrook, where she enjoys her beautiful view of the Oyster River. Thank you, Kathleen. And our auditor, Tim Carmen, back again with his abacus skills. Tim, as we all know, was born and raised in Windsor, Connecticut. He attended Loomis Chaffee, went on to the University of Richmond, where he graduated with a BS in accounting and a BA in religion. Soon after college, he passed the CPA exam and is now practicing with Mass Mutual Life Insurance as a corporate financial risk manager. In 2004, Tim moved to South Windsor, where he lives with his wife, Kristen, both eagerly awaiting their first child in late May. Hopefully, Tim, it's late May and not May 17th. Now I would like to welcome to the podium 2 women who have done a great job in helping these young ladies prepare for tonight. Kathy Kopaz and Dina Steck-Schulte.
Thank you, everyone. We would like to first recognize 2 of our committee members, Pam Micah and Mariah Lombardi, who have been very helpful. We are now going to get started with the program. We have a number of very interesting, talented group of girls. They're very interesting. Wait until you hear their speeches. They are a wonderful group of Shad Derby Queen candidates. We'll start with our first one, Emma Higgins, Miss Dugdale Plumbing and Mechanical.
Good evening, everyone. As far back as I can remember, I've looked forward to the day when I would be old enough to represent my hometown as part of the Shad Derby festivities. Now, as a senior at Northwest Catholic High School and just months away from entering college, I am beyond excited to have this opportunity. In trying to decide what to share with you about myself, I naturally think of my love of dance. I began taking Irish step dancing lessons at a very young age, and I am currently in my 10th year of dance at the Coogan School. Many of my most memorable moments have occurred on the dance floor, from simply putting on my first pair of Irish gillies to placing third at the New England Regional Championships. As an assistant dance teacher, I sustained my love for this art. I watch my students learn the basics of Irish dance and can't help but reminisce back to my days as a young dancer. The music captivated me, but I still did not know the difference between a jig or a reel. Knowing that I am part of the first dance experiences of many children makes me feel incredibly accomplished. As college approaches, I find it difficult to think about leaving the family-like environment I have found at the Coogan School, but I know I've well prepared myself for what lies ahead of me. As for my future plans, I hope to attend a four-year university and continue my work with young children. Thank you.
Carly DeVito, Miss Hairdresser on Fire, LLC.
Good evening, everyone. As you just heard, my name is Carly DeVito, and I am Miss Hairdresser on Fire. You may recognize me from many televised Board of Education meetings, as I serve as a representative for Windsor High School. Or you may recognize me as a 5-year member of Windsor's Police Explorer program. And who knows, I may have even directed you where to park your car wearing the oh-so-attractive green traffic vest at one of our many town events, such as the Northwest Park Country Fair or even our very own Shad Derby. One thing that separates me from the other candidates is that I'm a triathlete. I train year-round for the triathlon season, beginning in early summer and ending towards the last chilly days of September. I don't do it for the competitive aspect. Rather, I do it for how good it feels to push myself to my limits and cross the finish line. Last September, 2 of my best friends and I competed in an all-women's triathlon. Crossing the finish line hand in hand was unforgettable, and even more enjoyable because we got to share it together. So not only am I excited to be a Miss Shad Derby candidate for the experience, but I'm also excited to be sharing it with some of my very good friends. It is something I'll enjoy looking back on as I get older. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Katie Kerr, Miss Brown's Harvest.
Good evening. As a lifelong Windsor resident, I am excited to be here tonight and to have the opportunity to tell you a little about myself. I plan to attend Elmira College to become a registered nurse specializing in pediatrics. When I told the director of nursing at Elmira, she laughed and said everyone says they want to go into pediatric nursing. She said most back off when they are faced with cranky kids and even crankier parents. She stopped laughing when I told her that I had spent the last 2 years working as a group leader in a daycare program. I worked 16 hours per week during the school year and full-time during the summer. After my first semester, the directors recognized my ability to connect with a variety of kids. Since then, I have been tapped to work with physically and behaviorally challenged kids, including a number of autistic children. I'm really looking forward to participating in the Shad Derby pageant, which is a great Windsor tradition. And I would like to thank my sponsor, Brown's Harvest, and my family for their support. Thank you.
Shanae Coleman, Miss Windsor Lions Club.
Good evening, everyone. Humanitarian is a deep path. Being a humanitarian is passion that reaches into my soul. It's an inherent part of my personality. I participate in local soup kitchens and food share, work as a lifeguard during the summer, and plan to follow a family tradition as working as an aid worker in Africa. I see myself as a pharmacist with Doctors Without Borders in Darfur. My exposure to different cultures and my political awareness can be seen in my form of self-expression, art. My love of the politically fervent music from the turbulent 60s is the most poignant aspect of my personality. My iTunes library is filled to the brim with artists such as Janis Joplin, the Beatles, and Bob Dylan. My passion affects not only my music choice, but in my tastes of books and movies. Do not send me on a blockbuster run if you're looking for a lighthearted time. Instead, I would read about the political movie or documentary that your stereotypical 17-year-old girl would not be interested in. In 10 years, you won't see me gracing the cover of Wall Street Journal. Instead, you'll see my name in between the lines of a New York Times headliner covering the latest human tragedy. Thank you.
Caitlin Bermucci, Miss Johnson, Dow, Brown, and Barbarata, LLC.
Good evening. Like most of the girls up here, the description of active best describes me. In my time at Windsor High School, I have really enjoyed playing field hockey, managing the ice hockey team, and being the catcher and captain of the softball team. One of my other passions is the Kids and Critters program, where I've gained the knowledge and experience to properly care for snakes and other reptiles. I have also learned to help educate other high school students and to travel to elementary schools and introduce the animals along with their care and handling. I've enjoyed teaching children that there is no reason to fear snakes. The snakes are surprisingly very friendly and really fun to care for, even when they don't cooperate. That leaves me with some good stories to tell. During one presentation, when we were allowing a group of young students to hold one of our snakes, the snake insisted on going into a little girl's shirt and getting caught in her sleeve. Even though our snakes are well handled, they can still be unpredictable, much like the children we present them to. The Kids and Critters program has helped me develop better public speaking skills, as well as to prepare me for my career in special education. But maybe one of the best lessons that I have learned is to expect the unexpected and to have a sense of humor when dealing with children and animals. Thank you.
Jocelyn Carrasquillo, Miss Union Street Tavern.
Excuse me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you were told, my name is Jocelyn Carrasquillo, Miss Union Street Tavern. For the past 2 years, I've been president of FCCLA, which stands for Family Career Community Leaders of America. It's a family consumer science-based class, which is also an after-school program. We meet during and after school. We are collecting, we mainly focus on community service projects, and we have been collecting canned food and non-perishable items for the Windsor Food Share. That was our last year's project. Currently, we are making 100 uniforms for boys and girls in Haiti because without the uniforms, they're not allowed to attend school. And if they don't attend school, the percentage of their survival is limited. I enjoy helping the community. It allows me to feel as if I accomplished something, to make the community happy and a safe place, and allows me to prove myself and to others around the community that we all can make a difference. Thank you.
Danielle St. Jakes, Miss Four Seasons Landscaping.
friends have been coming to me for advice on something that not many 10-year-olds are very intrigued by, traveling. Every place I went on vacation, you could be sure to find me in the lobby of the hotel, sifting through brochures, looking for good places to venture out to when we were there. It got to the point where I had so many brochures that I had to make a special box for them. As I got older and learned to use a computer more and more, I started to plan our family vacations, including the locations we would travel to, good places to stay, what we would do each day, how to get to these places, and sometimes even their hours of operation. For me, all of this was fun. I liked planning things and going different places that were off the beaten path. In the past few years, I've been fortunate enough to take a 2-week trip to Ireland and a few weekend getaways up north, including my current favorite, Burlington, Vermont. All this experience has made me realize that planning is what I am meant to do, and I'm hoping to fulfill this lifelong passion by studying hospitality and tourism management in college. Oh, and by the way, I'm currently planning a trip to Nova Scotia this summer. I have it all planned out. My family just doesn't know it yet. Thank you.
Ellen Pudney, Miss Bill Seelig Jewelers.
Good evening. When I was first told that I would have to write a speech about myself, my parents and friends all assumed I wouldn't have any difficulty because I'm an actress and have been in numerous plays. I've been able to get up on stage and recite over 300 lines at a time. However, as I was writing this speech and getting ready to present it to all of you, I realized this would be so much easier if I could pretend to be someone else. When I'm acting in a play, I don't care what people think of me because it's my character talking. Because of this attitude, I've been able to build confidence in myself. And because working on a play is a team effort, I've learned to work well in a group of new people who are all different from each other. What I'm trying to say is even though coming up here tonight has been a greater challenge than being the lead in the play, it's because of acting that I could even get the guts to come up here in the first place. Thank you.
Sarah Coppola, Miss Brookman Plumbing.
Good evening. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to always know that there is a person around that looks exactly like you? I'm not talking about cloning either. Well, I am 18 years old and I have lived in Windsor all my life. I have a brother and 2 sisters, one of which is my identical twin. It has been a very special experience to grow up with a sibling of the same age because we share a bond that only twins have. Growing up with Amanda has always set us apart from my other siblings because we have always had a dependence on each other. Because we spent every waking hour together when we were little, it was challenging to be separated when elementary school started. We have shared the same friends, and I have realized that the friendship between me and Amanda has been solid. Looking back, it has helped us prepare for later in life. While attending the same schools, we've usually been in different classes, and as graduation approaches, we will likely attend different colleges and live in different cities. However, I am sure that while I make new friends throughout college and my career, I will always know that once we reunite, it will be as though we never parted. Thank you for the privilege to be a part of the Shad Derby and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Melanie Carter, Miss Cutting Edge.
Good evening, everyone. Through my short 17 years of life, many people have made false judgments about who I am. Just because I am a female, it doesn't mean that I'm not the captain of my wrestling team, that I can't bench 135 pounds, or I can't ride a dirt bike, because that's who I am. Although I'm very different from most people, let alone my gender, I do my best to relate to everyone. To have a better understanding of my family's breast cancer history, I joined the American Cancer Society, which I've been a team leader for the past 4 years. To support the victims of Hurricane Katrina, I visited Mississippi 2 summers ago to help rebuild homes. Although I like helping people, I won't mind hurting them on the mat, which I look forward to doing in my near future on an all-girls wrestling team. I plan to someday be in the Olympics, but I know that only hard work will get me there. I've learned a lot through wrestling, but what stood out to me the most is that pain is temporary, but pride is forever, and nothing can take my pride away from me. Good night.
Laurel McKiernan, Miss Jordan Flores.
Good evening. I have lived in Windsor all my life and have devoted much of my time to working with children. From volunteering at Northwest Park Summer Camp, teaching swimming lessons to kids at Gosley Pool where I work as a lifeguard, to tutoring elementary school children at the Wilson Library, I've come to realize that working with children is my major passion. I love to see kids progress and know that what I'm articulating to them is making a difference. I realize that in being a teacher, just as in being a lifeguard, lives depend upon how well I do my job. I want to inspire students just as many of my past teachers have inspired me. While I'm a senior at Windsor High School who is eager to graduate, I realize that I am meant to be in the classroom, only I want it to be my own. From teaching my stuffed animals the alphabet at the young age, to the informal classroom setting of Gosley Pool, to the actual classroom setting of my child development classes, I've learned a lot about what it entails to be a teacher. However, I realize that I have a lot left to learn, and therefore eagerly look forward to attending college and being one step closer to making my dream a reality. Thank you.
Michelle Berman, Miss Bart's Drive-In.
Good evening. I've had the honor of meeting many different people from around Windsor through my position at Bart's. Every day I am given the opportunity to meet someone new and put a smile on their face. I've probably served a hot dog to many guests in the audience tonight. Entertaining is part of my life in every aspect. Since my terrible twos, I've been a ballerina. This fall, I plan on attending the University of Hartford with a major in ballet pedagogy. Currently, I dance with Connecticut Concert Ballet and am a member of God's Grace dance team. God's Grace is a group of young women who use dance and sign language to praise God and minister to others. We meet on Friday nights to provide teens with a safe and fun alternative to parties and violence. I plan to be an active member of this youth group throughout college as well. I'd like to thank my parents, without whom I wouldn't be the strong young woman I am today. I'd also like to pay respects to my Uncle Rob, who passed away yesterday. Thank you all.
Kelsey Kopp, Miss PC Development Group.
Good evening. For the past couple of years, I've been a member of Outdoors Club at Windsor High School. Being involved in Outdoors Club has given me the opportunity to snowboard to incredible mountains. My junior year, we took a trip to Mount Tremblant in Canada, and my senior year, we went to Sugarloaf in Maine. At Mount Tremblant, I was given the opportunity to observe a different culture. It was so cool when I'd be sitting on a ski lift with someone next to me speaking in French. I also make sure to find time to plan my own trips. Whether it's simply going to Sundance for the day or Vermont for the weekend, it's always a good time. Each mountain has different trails and brings new experiences. From falling off the tee, to going through the glades, to riding a 60-person gondola for the first time, there's always something new. Snowboarding is also always a challenge. However, you can't back down. It's a sport where the most important thing is when you fall down, you have to get right back up. Otherwise, you'll never make it down the mountain. Snowboarding also got me interested in surfing. One summer, during a trip to Ocracoke Island, I convinced my friend that it would be fun to enroll in a surf camp for the week. I learned to love surfing and continue to go as much as possible. Both snowboarding and surfing have taught me a lot about life, where if you give up, you will never get anywhere. You have to keep going and overcome many different obstacles. Thank you.
Jocelyn Dvorak, Miss Winston Seas.
Good evening. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile are a few of Albert Einstein's words that I choose to live by. Over February break, I, along with 25 others from my church, flew to Mexico, exchanging personal R&R time for a weekend dedicated to building Una Casa de Esperanza, for those who need translation, a home of hope, for a family of 4 living on $70 per week. It is amazing to me how I am reminded daily in some small way of the lessons learned in Mexico. This fall, I am attending University of New England, and although I am recruited to play soccer and lacrosse, my main focus is becoming a physician's assistant. Everybody goes through an experience that sparks an interest in a certain career, and my experience was last year when I was part of a Mexico medical missions team. For 1 week, in a small town ironically called La Esperanza, we held health clinics for the migrant workers camp and provided a short vacation Bible school for the kids. On the flight home, I realized that helping others physically and spiritually would truly make my life worthwhile, as Einstein once said. Thank you, and enjoy the last speech.
Andrea Tausano, Miss Coldwell Banker.
Good evening, everyone. Throughout my life, I've played a wide variety of sports. From soccer to softball, hockey to cheerleading, sports have played a major role in my development. This is why I've chosen to major in sports management at UMass Amherst. I couldn't imagine my life without sports. In my house, NFL games are a must to watch, and my friends know better than to talk to me when the Patriots are playing. Football, the reason why I love football so much could be because I'm a cheerleader, which comes as no surprise to most people. Even though I've only been cheering for 4 years, I've already gone to numerous camps and clinics, cheered in front of thousands of fans for my high school and at Gillette Stadium, and even competed nationally and locally for my high school and all-star teams. I've even gotten the privilege to spread my love of cheerleading to little kids as a coach for the Windsor Giants cheerleading program. With my background in cheerleading, I have tried to change people's perceptions of cheerleaders from athletic supporters to serious athletes. I am excited to see where my passion for sports will take me, and hopefully one day you'll see me cheering on the sidelines with the New England Patriots. Thank you.
You know, in today's society, there's a lot of talk about the youth of today not being active enough. Well, obviously, I haven't met any of these girls. Well, that concludes our festivities for today. I would like to thank Windsor Federal Savings, Peerless Insurance, Wayne Bukowski, Zacho's Restaurant, and Win TV for making today very special night. Thank you.